Hello, Bigfoot enthusiast. Scott here from Squatch America.
And Hannah, domestic goddess, chief cook, and doggy mama here in the paddy wagon tonight, freezing my ever-loving tuchus right off.
Yeah. So we are in Cloudcroft, New Mexico, and you would think New Mexico, desert, hot.
No.
Not at 9,000 feet.
No. In fact, the ski resort is open for business just up the road.
I know. Yeah, literally, we're like 2 miles from the ski resort.
I had to put on my snow boots. I'm lucky I even had my snow boots with me because God knows I don't have anything else suited for this weather. But we're having a great time.
We are.
And
we'll talk what? What?
We'll tell you all about it, and I promise not to burp in your faces anymore. Play it, please.
Play it, please. All right. And it's still the Christmas season, so we're going to do one more Christmas. All right, guys.
So
who's the usual suspects are?
Hello,
hi,
Scott, Galen, and Angel, and Donna, Renee, Locke, Michelle, and the next Scott, and Dale, and if is
and the other Renee.
Yeah, everyone.
All the Renees.
Okay, well,
so
tonight is the last show of 2023.
Yes, it is.
And we've got an awesome guest for you.
We do. So straight from Wisconsin.
Land of cheese.
Land of the
I
cheese.
just discovered this week that I should not be eating cheese.
Yeah.
It's not good for me.
All right. We've got Barnaby Jones from CAPS.
How's it going, guys?
Good.
Oh, I told you guys before the show, it is colder down by you than right now than it's been in Wisconsin so far this winter. So, you guys can keep it down there.
Yeah. 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 So anyway, Don Fuller, he's from Vermont, just says the ski areas are devastated by the lack of cold temperatures.
Send them all to New Mexico. We got you.
The ski area is actually 2 miles from us, and it's open right now in New Mexico, believe it or not. Weird.
Yep.
All right. So Barnaby.
Yeah.
I'm excited to have you on the show.
I'm excited to be here, guys. I'm happy to be here.
It's been great meeting you and getting to know you virtually. Maybe someday we'll have to meet sometime in real life. We'll have to get up there. So what got you in the whole Bigfoot genre of stuff?
Absolutely. I've been interested in paranormal and Bigfoot my whole life. I started out even back in elementary school with the whole chupacabra thing was big in the 90s. And I did a research paper on that in elementary school. So I kind of focused more on paranormal throughout my high school and that. But I've always been interested in all this weird stuff. And in 2018, there was a convention that one of my coworkers told me about in Upper Michigan, the Marinette Menominee Bigfoot and Paranormal Convention. And he's like, oh, man, you'd be really into this. And I'm like, yeah. And hey, but we missed it this year. Let me know next year. So 2019 came along, and he's like, oh, here's a flyer about it. And again, I missed it because I had other stuff going on. But on the flyer was this whole thing about the Hayden adventure. And it's this 80-acre property in Upper Michigan that was owned by Craig and Barbara Salk. And they had a trail camera picture on the property. They do hunting, bear and deer on there. And in 2012, they got a series of 3 game camera photos. And the middle photo contained what many believe is a Sasquatch. So they ended up opening up their property to the public to come and see the photograph and see the evidence and all the stuff that was up there. And so I ended up going up there with my mom in 2019, and we met Craig and Barb, just amazing people, phenomenal. And they took us around the property, showed us all the evidence, all the research that's been done up there on the property. And they told me about Linda Godfrey, who is famous in Wisconsin here for the Beast of Bray Road and the Dogman stories and that. And I started reading. I got back home and I started reading about Linda Godfrey and the Bray Road stuff, which led me to an area in Wisconsin of Burlington, Wisconsin, and a lady by the name of Mary Sutherland, who actually wrote this book all about this haunted woods, this portal woods, aliens, all this stuff down there. And so I ended up going down there with one of my paranormal friends, and we had our first Bigfoot encounter in this woods, just sitting in the parking lot, where we believe one came out and was like pulled down a branch and was watching us. And I shined my light along the edge of the hillside, and the branch popped back up as it like ducked back into the woods. So after we had this encounter, I went back and I told a bunch of people about it. I'm like, I don't know what this is, but look at all the evidence down there. Look at all the stuff going on. We got to go investigate. So I got this group of people together, and we went down a couple weeks later. We actually found a footprint down there of right in the area where this branch had popped up. We had whistles. We had thermal imaging of these creatures down there, and like a huge branch just ripped off a tree at us. We got growled at. And after that, that's how we started CAPS, Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society. And it started out with the 4 of us that day, and now there's about 10, 15 of us on the team. And we go all over the United States and Wisconsin. We do research of cryptids, UFOs, Bigfoot, paranormal, you name it, we do it. And we got our YouTube channel. We got all of our documentaries come out on there, documenting all the different research that we do. And we have different mini series and stuff, and all kinds of stuff. So,
Barnaby, could you tell me what CAP stands for again?
Cryptids. Go ahead.
Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society.
Okay, I'm throwing that in the chat as soon as I can
And
type
there's
it
a
up.
link in the description already. So
Awesome. Yeah.
So here's a question, or kind of a comment. It's kind of funny, actually. So Godfrey is responsible for the Dogman and UK nonsense?
I don't think so. I think that was long way before the 90s when she was over here looking into it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's funny you mentioned that. It's kind of funny. For the last several years, there's been a radio station in Kenosha. And it's
WLIP.
Yeah, the LIP. WLIP. And their radio station is on 1051. So they have this weekend show they call Area 1051. And I've been on that several times. I mean, they call me every once in a while when he's got nobody else to call. So he calls me and we talk about Bigfoot stuff. But yeah, Dogman, when they got it's a call-in radio show. So people call in all the time. And yeah, it's all Dogman down there. It's because I think that's kind of close. I don't know where Bray Road is exactly, but is it closer to Kenosha?
West of that. Kenosha's kind of straight down from Milwaukee, and like if you're going down Milwaukee'd be over here, and then Bray Road would be over here.
Okay, gotcha.
West of Milwaukee. So
yeah. So, here's a question for you. Any reports of skinwalkers there in your Wisconsin area?
Not that I know of. Even with the Dogman reports and stuff of Bray Road and all of Linda Godfrey's research, she doesn't ever talk. Well, I'll take that back. She does mention 2 stories, but they're not from Wisconsin, of shape-shifting creatures. I believe the one was out in California, and the other one she did not say because I don't think the witness wanted it known. But those were the only 2 stories in all of her books that I've read or heard about from her that had shape-shifting. So it's not a really common thing with the Dogman phenomenon.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I find too. Skinwalkers is a whole different thing, really. Me growing up. Yeah, I'll grow up someday. I'm 61. But
being grown up is a myth.
Yeah, but me working with the Native American tribes my whole life and stuff. Yeah, the skinwalkers are not talked about. I mean, it's like almost forbidden. So
could that be because you tend to manifest what you speak?
Yeah, exactly.
We do have, up in our part of the country, we have more of the Wendigo reports. In Minnesota and Michigan and up in Canada and stuff is more Wendigo territory than skinwalkers. So
Yeah, and Wendigo and Bigfoot kind of overlap a lot in
sometimes,
Native American culture. Yeah. In fact, one of our hotspots in Oregon, Scott Goebel's in the chat here. He and I have went out quite a bit and had incredible things happen. But yeah, and the place we go in Oregon is actually literally called Wendigo Pass. So, but so Renee's got a question for you. She says, "What do you think of Dogman? What is it?"
That's a very good question. I always like to base all of my theories and my opinions and stuff on my personal experiences with these creatures, especially with Bigfoot, paranormal, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what you got to go on. That's
Yeah, absolutely. And I've never had a Dogman experience. I've never seen one. I've never found any evidence personally. We have done a lot of work down on Bray Road, and Burlington is about 15-20 minute drive from Bray Road. So we've been down in that area quite a bit. We actually have gotten the chance to do investigations on Lee Hampel's hayfield down there, which is known as the Skinwalker Ranch of Wisconsin.
Right.
And we got 2 chances to go out there so far to do experiments, one of which was just this past summer. And we did a lot of cool stuff out there. It's going to be coming out this coming year on our YouTube channel. We have a lot of stuff to it takes us about a year to put out each episode, or not each episode, but from filming it to editing it and all that stuff to get them out. So it'll be out this I want to say like around July. But we've done a lot of UFO and weird phenomenon stuff excuse me, on their property. But we have not had any heat signatures, no animals, some coyotes, but nothing other than that as far as Dogman down there. We are working on a Dogman episode. We are working in a different part of Wisconsin as well that has had some reports come out of it. But as of yet, we have not gotten anything even that I would call footprint evidence or audio evidence or sightings of our own. So we're working on it.
All right.
What do I think they are? I'm sorry. I totally didn't even answer the question. With Bigfoot and others, some of these other creatures, you have a fossil record, you have a other things that they could have been or evolved from, or you have some sort of basis for them. With the Dogman, you don't have any kind of real history of these creatures. Now, granted, the fossil record is missing so much because it takes a very specific set of circumstances to create a fossil, to petrify bone, to get those evidence, because bones and stuff decay and are eaten and just gone back to nature so quickly that, it takes a lot to do that. So you are missing that. But in all the species that we know, all the canine species and similar, there's nothing that has the ability to stand upright or, is that big of a creature as these things are being reported. So then you look at the other things, people always say that, well, they're supernatural beings or they have these other properties. But then you got to look at the other animals in the animal kingdom and that, like the octopus or the platypus or, all these different creatures that can change color, can, change sex, like some of your amphibians and stuff, is the abilities of these animals really paranormal, or is it just something they've adapted to as well? So it's not really out of the realm of possibility that these upright canines could exist, but there's no record in our Scientology or whatever that they do anything that we can link them to say that there's a basis or a idea that they do exist. So it's possible they could just be flesh and blood. They could be some sort of alien species or interdimensional or something like that too. I don't have an opinion yet because, like I said, I haven't experienced it. And then you have some of these reports where people are even saying that their sightings are 2-dimensional, which is really weird because with all the stuff that you see with, you know, the Bigfoot, where they see it cloak or they see it disappear or they turn into a ball of light or all these different things with Bigfoot, that's one thing. I've never heard a two-dimensional flat Bigfoot, but some of these people that have seen these Dogman claim that it's a flat, like cartoon looking creature. And like
So
that it turned to the side,
like
it would just disappear.
like a creepy version of Who Framed Roger Rabbit,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
which is actually a very creepy movie. if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's very creepy.
Yeah.
We should
So
mix
that's
animation
interesting.
and live action.
Yeah. So that, I have never heard that. I don't get a lot of Dogman reports anyway, but I have never heard of the two-dimensional Dogman.
I am just totally whacked out now, and now what was that movie with the shadow people? Because shadow people are kind of two-dimensional.
Yeah.
What was that
Yeah,
movie with the shadow people?
I don't know
Where the
which one.
guy, it ends with, who was in it? Michael Keaton was in it, I think. I can't. And
Oh,
winds up dead on the White Noise.
White Noise. Yeah.
Another creepy movie.
Yeah.
Maybe Dogman is a shadow people.
I don't know.
I don't know that shadow people have claws though.
No.
In this movie, they were pretty aggressive, and they were just zero fossil record. This is what Locke says. Zero fossil record equals Dogman claims are mistaken wolves or hoaxers. Two-dimensional claims people are hallucinating. I was going to say maybe Dogman is the result of too much. You picked the wrong shroom out there.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I always kind of, the Dogman thing, there could be some like a group of Bigfoot. The Bigfoot in different areas look different.
Mhm.
Because we hear different reports. Like the skunk ape down in Florida tend to be shorter than the ones up north, and stuff like that. Different colors and different things. So they might have, like the Dogman or like the Bigfoot in Wisconsin could have a slightly different facial structure. I don't know. That could, people might be just seeing them wrong, or maybe the light's just right in Wisconsin. You never know.
Could have eaten some bad cheese.
Yeah.
Bad cheese.
Yeah.
A little too close to penicillin for going out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen one, and there's even more than that. I mean, there's not just the werewolf style ones out there, because then you still have like these people that are seeing hyena looking ones, where they got this like the hump back instead of the straight upright creatures. They're more hunched, and then you have even like the Anubis type creatures. And Linda Godfrey even wrote one of her books about like a sheepdog kind of creature, and I'm like, so there's just so much going on with these Dogman creatures that I can't wrap my head around until I always say, until I see one. But I go out in the woods looking for Bigfoot, and I think I'd be okay if I saw a Bigfoot, but I just don't know if I want to see a Dogman. I don't think
Exactly.
I don't think I'm ready for that, to walk into this woods and see this snarling,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. So there,
I don't know
yeah.
what's there.
Yeah. And I don't usually carry silver bullets with me either. So
Me neither. In
yeah.
today's economy, who can?
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going to waste one on a Dogman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Let's see, at the way Silver's going, one round will like fill half a tank for us.
Yeah. So there's one, there's a couple of reports that I've had, Dogman reports, that they see this creature on the ground and then it stands up. But they said twice I've heard this, that they hear like all their bones popping as they stand up. I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but it's just kind of weird, but there's like, the werewolf legend comes from France. And so you've got all the Cajun people. We got the loup-garou, which is the Cajun version of the French werewolf, and stuff. So
we've got some interesting stuff in the chat. You might want to check.
What do we got?
The first thing, Donna says perhaps it's a deformed Bigfoot.
Yeah.
But Renee, so I've read the Bible as we know it.
Yeah.
Aren't there stories in the Bible of dogman type warriors? I've read the Bible as we know. Okay, let me reframe this. I've read the Protestant Bible as we know it, cover to cover, a lot of times.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I've never seen anything like a dogman type warrior.
Mm-hmm.
I've read the Apocrypha maybe once, you know, that section that's in the Catholic Bible. I don't recall anything there. There are lots of books. There are lots of writings that have been left out. I will not claim to have read those. So who knows? I mean, who knows what's in all that ancient folklore? I don't know. I don't know.
There
But
actually are dogman creatures in the Bible.
tell me what I missed.
There's two stories here. First of all, you have the Pharaoh actually goes to war with Anubis and his dog-headed warriors.
There you go.
And I don't know where this falls in the Bible, but it is part of that era, that religion.
It was part of Egyptology,
Correct.
Egyptian
Yes.
mythology. I tell you what, it's not in the book of Exodus.
Right.
So
There you go.
but Egyptian mythology, I can totally embrace that.
Yeah.
And
So-
also, if you look in the, I never say this right, Eastern Orthodox Methodist religion,
There are so
There
many out there.
is- there is Saint Christopher. And
Yes.
Saint Christopher is the patron saint of travelers. Saint
Yes.
Christopher is of the same tribe of Anubis in Egypt. So his character is sometimes portrayed as this dog-headed creature. And the story goes is that he has the head of a dog, and he wants to be redeemed for, he doesn't want to be ugly. He doesn't want to have the head of a dog. So he goes out and he goes to the different disciples of Jesus and stuff. And he says, I want you to make me normal, like a person, I don't want to look like this. And they said that, you have to prove yourself as, a loyal follower of Jesus. And so they take him to this river, and he has to stand at the edge of the river because he's big. He's like 7 feet tall. He's muscular. He's strong. And his job is to ferry people across this river. And one day this little boy comes, and he is the heaviest little boy that Saint Christopher at the time, I guess, has ever lifted and carried. And he gets them to the other side of the river, and he says, "Man, you are the heaviest person I've ever felt. It's like you have the weight of the world on your shoulders." And he says, "I do. My name is Jesus Christ." And after he crossed Jesus Christ across this river, Jesus took him and fixed his head so that he looked normal. And that's how he became the patron saint of travelers crossing this river.
Oh, I kind of
There
like
you go.
that story.
Yeah.
So not in the Bible, but definitely in
Somebody's
some-
Bible.
Yeah.
well, there's a lot of religious folklore and mythology that's not included in Holy Writ. With that said, just throwing it out there, there's a lot in Holy Writ that's been discarded. So as far as, folklore, mythology, traditional stories, who knows what's that? What I find interesting about what you say, though, be quiet. Let me talk. This I think this is where I really started deconstructing my faith. As I grew up very, 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 very fundamental evangelical, all those things, all the elicals. And we went to tour King Tut's tomb when the King Tut's tomb tour was in San Francisco.
Yeah.
And as we walked through that and read all the, the descriptions of the hieroglyphics and all that, almost every single story about Jesus, virgin birth, the miracles, the good shepherd, the death and resurrection, all came from Egyptian mythology. Every last bit of it. And so honestly, all you Christians out there, you're Egyptian.
You're Egyptian.
Come straight from that Egyptian line.
Yeah.
It's all Stargate. Stargate is true.
All right. So we're about a half an hour in. We got to do a little station identification.
We'll get back to your the stuff in the chat.
All right. So hang on.
As we travel and search for Bigfoot, we use a lot of equipment that uses the internet to operate. Also, in our town hall meetings and live streams, we need a reliable connection. we use Nomad Internet. There's a link and discount code below, so join us and have internet access on the go.
All right, and this is where we usually talk about what our coming up stuff. Barnaby, I'm gonna put you on hold for a minute. So, all right, there we go. So I got to find the right button. Scrolling. So our next thing coming up, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to right here. Boom.
Oh. All right, here we go. The tradition continues. All right.
Yeah.
February 2nd through 4th is the annual Eugene Boat and Sportsman's Show. You can come buy your next boat, trailer, or RV, buy your ATV, get your a custom fishing rod made, and see Squatch America.
Yeah.
Because we will be there. And I'm so excited. Masai the lion.
Yes, they're gonna have a
I
lot.
want to pet the kitty.
Yes, she does.
I'm gonna die. I'm just gonna die. So that's February 2nd through 4th. We will see you there. And then
following that, we've got all these other ones coming up.
February 9th through 11th will be in Roseburg, and then in Medford, February 23rd through the 25th. Then March 1st through 3rd, we will be Scott and Scott Goebel, and I think Michelle's going to be anyway because I will be in Dallas. But Squatch America will be repping at the NorCal Sport and RV Show in Anderson, California, and then a brand new show in the circuit, March 15th through 17th in Klamath Falls. So,
and then don't miss coming up
in June 22nd to the 23rd, Baker City, Oregon, the 3rd annual Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival. And you forgot everything in the middle there.
What was in the middle?
Forks and Medellin Falls.
Oh, that's right. Oh, here, I'll just do that.
Thank you very much. So after we get done with Klamath Falls, you haven't updated this.
No.
All right. So see April 12th through 14th. We will be somewhere else, just not at the North Central Washington Prospector Show.
Yeah.
That did not pan out. May 24th through 26th, however, we will be at Fork Sasquatch Days. Then over Father's Day weekend, we will be at the Medellin Falls Bigfoot Fest. And then after the Blue Mountain Bigfoot Festival in June, in July, you can catch us at the Glide Bigfoot Festival.
I got the Glide commercial.
Play the Glide commercial. Is there another Bigfoot festival anywhere that has a dance team?
I don't know.
Come on.
Yeah. So at the Glide Fest, I think it's me and Dr. Jeff again. I'm not sure.
I don't think they've made a final call on that. Anyway, we'll be there, and so much exciting stuff in Cloudcroft. But we are pushing out the first Cloudcroft Bigfoot Festival till sometime in 2025.
All right.
So. Anyway, back to it.
All
right, we need to go up. We've got more stuff up here.
Okay.
All right, Donald Fuller.
Here we go.
Heard a girl say she had a dogman interaction here in Vermont. It was from the time Twilight was popular.
Yes.
Any chance it's just from the big screen? So how far back does the dogman myth go?
Oh, I mean, for Europe and stuff, you have the Beast of Gévaudan. Over there of this, werewolf creature that was attacking and killing people. And I mean, you got 1800s, I mean, at least all over Europe and stuff. And then I don't know too many like Native American or, First Nations people in the United States that have had stories of them. I haven't heard much. They talk more about like we said, the skinwalkers, wendigos, Bigfoot creatures and stuff like that, but I don't hear too much of the werewolf type stuff. But even over in Europe, during World War I or World War II in the concentration camps, they were saying that there was werewolves that patrolled these camps for Hitler and the Nazis. And that was one of the things for people that don't know much about Hitler, and that he was really into the paranormal, the supernatural, and all that. And there was claims that he had a werewolf breeding program, and a lot of the people that survived the camps said that these things patrolled the camps. And that's, it's weird because you don't hear that stuff in history because, it's the stuff that nobody talks about or nobody believes or anything, but stories or not, I mean, somebody's talking about it. So,
yeah. So weird fact. When I was in the military, I was stationed in Germany for 6 years. And me being the weirdo that I am, I started looking into a lot of the Hitler paranormal, that he was really into that kind of stuff. And I had another guy in my unit that was kind of into the stuff too. And we actually found this museum in Frankfurt. And in the back of it, it had a lot of the historic stuff that Hitler had collected. And one of it was the spear tip that stabbed Jesus. So they claimed. They had it on the wall in there. And so we went and checked it out, and it was there, but I don't know if it was the, one, but Hitler believed it was.
Well, he had his minions and stuff searching all over the world. He was interested in like the crystal skulls. He was looking for the Ark of the Covenant. And this is legit. This is history. I mean, like, he really was looking for this stuff.
This stuff is what made Harrison Ford famous. Come on.
Well, Harrison Ford found it, so it couldn't have been hidden so well.
Every oh gosh, what was his name? Every single Indiana Jones movie ever made, right there. So, funny.
Cool.
So Donald, you know what?
What?
The St. Albans, Vermont Sportsman's Show.
Oh, okay.
You know how to get a hold of us.
SquatchAmerica@gmail.com.
There you go.
There you go. So I want to bring something up here. I got all the buttons here. I'm.
You need to clean out this thing. You got too much stuff.
Too much stuff.
It's true.
So we're going to. I want you to talk to me about this.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for having that. I mean, I usually just hold up the copy over here, but it's so much easier to see.
Yeah.
So in the beginning of tonight's show, we talked about how I kind of got into this going up to the Hayden Adventure, which is in Upper Michigan. It's just outside of Menominee, Michigan, 80 acres of private property. And it was originally owned by Craig and Barbara from 1992 as a hunting property. As you see on the cover there of the book, that is the second picture in a series of 3. And this picture contains what a lot of people believe is a Bigfoot creature. The series of 3 was sent into Finding Bigfoot. Finding Bigfoot came out to the property to do an investigation. And after that, like I said, they opened up the property as the Hayden Adventure because Bigfoot is always hiding. And so for years, from this was in 2012 and 2013, Finding Bigfoot aired, and ever since then they had the property open up until we met him in 2019, and in 2020 my team got to do investigations of the property. And we started out, they were only allowing us to come out for one weekend, Memorial Day weekend. We spent 3 days there, and we absolutely had a great time, much respect, and we did everything that they wanted us to. And they said, you know what, you guys are doing this the right way. We want you to continue working up here. And ever since Memorial Day weekend 2020, we have been on the property on and off every couple weeks, every couple months, setting up different experiments, setting up trail cameras, setting up long duration audio, all this stuff. So what this is the book that just came out. It is co-authored by myself and Craig and Barb. And The original book that looks very similar to this was his first book, was self-published just in Upper Michigan, and it was all about everything that happened on the property from 2012 up until about 2017. Well, that book was just locally published. They sold it at the conventions and at the Hide and Adventure. In 2020, in October, Craig was diagnosed with thyroid cancer. By April of 2021, he passed away.
Oh.
And while he was, still with us and stuff, he was working on his second book. So his second book chronicles everything from 2017 up until when my team was up there in 2020, and then right up to the end of 2020 when he just couldn't work on it anymore. So with permission from Barb, I took his second book. We edited it. I finished up everything that he had just outlined in there because it was mostly stuff that my team had done anyway. And I wrote the rest of his book up to when he passed. And then I wrote book 3 in there, which is everything that happened on the property that we've investigated and documented from 2021 up until this past October. So this is over 10 years of photographs and documentation and reports, all from their property. And it's not just Bigfoot. There was black cats on the property, big panthers. They were actually captured on trail camera, one of them. There's even a dogman possibly encounter on the property that we got on trail camera there. It chased some cows off of a neighbor's farm, broke them out of the fence, chased them a couple miles. And there's cow pictures on their property, and then this creature in the background that looks like it could have been chasing them. So there's all kinds of stuff in here. It is full color, 249 pages. It is available at Amazon.com or at WisconsinCaps.com if you'd like an autographed copy. Ooh. So it is an amazing book with full of pictures and evidence and everything in there.
Cool.
All right.
All right. So get your copy today.
Copy today. That's right. Okay, go up and let's see some of those other comments.
Okay.
Look, start here with octopus. You can get rid of.
Hold on, I am got to push buttons. There you go.
So many buttons.
Yep.
Comments. Go to that's the banner. There you go. All right. So go. All right. So octopus says there was an island of dog-headed men, according to someone.
Yeah.
I have heard that as well. Yeah.
The island of Dogmen and the island of Misfit Toys.
And the island of the Amazonians.
And the island of Dr. Moreau. Maybe it was the island of Dr. Moreau.
Yeah.
Because that sounds a lot like could be a Dogman breeding program right there.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, you are all over the place here. You scroll like crazy. Keep going.
You tell me to stop, and then you
stop. No, keep going. Just start. That's where I wanted to start at. Was at the okay. All right, here.
That one.
I think so. When I asked about the recent Dogman encounters, asks Donald, could it just be influenced from fantasy? I think so. I mean. And then you keep scrolling. Stop scrolling.
So anyway, yeah. So what I have seen in the past, to be honest with you, and we've had I've been doing the Bigfoot stuff for like 25 years, but we just last 5-6 years we've had the website up where people submit reports. And what's really interesting is whenever there's a Bigfoot movie comes out, the reports go up, and it is kind of influenced by culture,
Absolutely.
So,
so Renee says that Scott Carpenter had an interaction with the dog man. Have you heard about that?
I never heard about that. Mm-hmm. I've got a couple of his books.
Even Cliff Barrickman hasn't. But one of the people that was working on finding Bigfoot had, like one of the crew members, and he said he trusted them 100%. And so, I mean, I do think that there is something out there. I mean, there's too many reports, too many detailed reports that all seem to match up, that you look at these things, even throughout history and everything, that there's something, even when you look at Bigfoot, there are evidence of footprints of Dogman and other things, like even down in Bray Road, there's physical evidence. when I say that I haven't seen anything, I haven't found anything myself, seen
Right.
or found anything. But there is, there's been scrapes in cars. People have been, had these things chase them down the road on Bray Road and the surrounding area and stuff, and literally like claw marks down their car that have been reported to the police. Not just, like, why would you call into a police station looking for attention? Like, something attacked my car. They're calling in to say something's out there causing problems, is dangerous. You need to look into this. They're not calling the local newspaper and saying, hey, something attacked my car. Come look at the evidence. They're calling the police. And these are the reports, the animal control officers, the police reports, and all that. That's where Linda Godfrey got all of her original stuff. She was a newspaper author, and she got assigned this thing of, hey, there's all this stuff going on Bray Road with these werewolves. Can you go look at it? And she walked into animal control office and said, hey, do you know anything about these, attacks out there? And he's like, oh, you mean the werewolf? And she says the guy literally plopped down this huge file folder on the desk and he goes, here you go. It's all yours. So, it's not prior to that, it was all this stuff that they were getting legitimate in and didn't know what to do with. So something, I firmly believe that there's something out there. I just don't know what it is. Like I said, is it extraterrestrial? Is it interdimensional? Is it a flesh and blood natural animal? Is there a breeding population? I don't know. That's where I'm at. I guarantee there's probably something out there causing these things. What it is it a, mutated creature or something, like a wolf or a wolf hybrid or something, that I don't know what it is. But
those are called koi wolves, by the way.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of those? Yeah.
Okay. Locke says this kind of answers Donald's. I told a woman the ghost stories of the old dorm we lived in. After that, she started seeing faces in her ceiling. Yes, people can just imagine stuff, especially when they're spooked. It's true. And I, honestly, that I think that's probably part of our own evolution to protect ourselves. Because if we think something's out there and we convince ourselves something's out there, we're not going to go out there. Hey, stop it. Oh my gosh.
Trying to take the mouse back.
No, I have the mouse. So, okay, here's a good one, because not everybody knows all the things. I don't.
Yeah.
Donna says that she doesn't know much about Dogman or a Skinwalker. Are they similar? I got a report last week about a Skinwalker, but now I'm thinking it was a Dogman. So maybe you two fine gentlemen can teach us what's
okay. I can tell you the Native American lore on this. Skinwalkers are basically Native American shamans who are they're considered evil by the tribes, actually. And
shamans that went bad.
Yeah, shamans that went bad. And
Shamans Gone Bad, the next new miniseries on the History Channel.
Yeah. No, so it and what it is if you got somebody you don't like or somebody you need to take care of or whatever, you can pay one of these shamans who can transform their bodies into anything. It's not just a werewolf, it's whatever they want. And they will go harass or even murder somebody for you. But then you are cursed after that if you use them, kind of a deal. That's the Reader Digest version of it. So
I think Jews have something like that. What do we call them? I can't remember.
The clay figures.
The clay figures. You make the clay figure, and then
in the Jewish lore,
golems.
Golems.
Yes, that's it. It sounds a lot like a golem. Only
Yeah.
it was just anyway. That's kind of what I had images of. So versus a dogman. What's a dogman?
Well, when you go back to the skinwalkers, when they turn into a wolf, they don't turn into a wolf human hybrid. They turn into a wolf, so
so basically a skinwalker is a shapeshifter.
Yeah, exactly.
If William was on here tonight, he'd be beating us.
Yeah.
I'm not done here.
Okay.
All right. So by the way, I want to tell Scott Dunbar, I see you and I hear you. Okay. Musicians in the house know what I'm talking about. So okay. So Ben, thanks for joining us. And he asks, what are your thoughts on Dogman just being misidentified Bigfoot sightings?
I don't think so. Some of them
Okay.
maybe, but I do think there's a lot of close encounters and up close people seeing these things. Even people I have talked to personally, and there's no way. Bigfoot are a lot thicker,
Mhm.
a lot beefier, a lot broader. These things are very lean, and that's not to say that a Bigfoot couldn't be like malnourished or something, but even the ears are always a very predominant feature on these things.
Yeah.
A lot of people see that, and when you see that, it's not the same thing as a Bigfoot. You do not hear somebody say, "Well, I saw a Bigfoot with pointy ears," on top of their head. You don't hear those same characteristics. You don't
No.
hear, a lot of the same stuff. You don't hear the muzzle with the sharp teeth on Bigfoot.
Right.
A lot
Right.
of
You never hear about canine teeth on Bigfoot.
Yeah.
The big canine teeth. You don't.
And the prints are different. Pappy says the large 3-toed prints make me scratch my head. Mm. So
that's the Falk monster, and they're kind of a southern inbred Bigfoot. That's what that is, I think.
yeah, so octopus, by the way, I'm so glad you mentioned octopus because they're my favorite creature on the planet. I adore cephalopods. I begged my parents for a pet octopus when I took biology in high school, and that was a hard pass.
Yeah.
There were no octopi coming into the house, but I was ready to have a pet for life, I love them. Anyway, so and Octopus says that that Skinwalker's magic men gone cannibal.
Yeah, that's what Wendigos are.
Yes.
All right. So Locke says Locke has the best stories. We are deep woods. My brother knows animals and his land, but still, when he thought he saw a black panther when we went out to where it was, we fleshed out a black house cat. Anyone can be mistaken.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't realize. Do you have wolves in Wisconsin?
Do I have
literal wolves in the woods?
Oh, yes.
Wolves. If I speak correctly, wolves. Yeah. A lot of people don't realize how big wolves are. Just your regular wolf. Their backs can sometimes be up, 3 feet or 4 feet tall. They're big.
Yeah. So Pappy, I always like it when Pappy's on because he says smart things. He and Locke could have a lovely time together. The mind can manifest a reality for some people. Actually, the mind manifests reality for all of us because our experience is exactly what we're creating. So Scott and I can look at the exact same scenario and have two completely different experiences.
Yeah,
it's
but
phenomenal.
mine's right. So
anyway, but we think they may have mental issues, but to them it is real. It's true. That's why lie detectors are not evidence in court, except in Oregon, which is a hot mess. Anyway, so Donna says, thank you for the explanation. We're talking. So anyway, I think Octopus says they have Quay wolves where he's at, and even one of them was damn near the size of my German Shepherd.
Yeah.
Yep. We saw an elk. Daisy and I were out on a walk last night. Happy you'll like this. There was an elk, a cow elk in our path, and I swear she was the size of our truck. And guess who moved? It wasn't her.
Yeah.
At first I thought, is that a moose? Because moose, they lose their stuff in the winter. I thought, that thing is so big. So anyway.
Yeah, that's another shocker, folks. Roosevelt elk in New Mexico. Nobody thinks about that.
And they just stand on the walking trails and say, move.
Yeah, I'm not.
Okay. You say okay. All right. So where are we now? By the way, I want to say hi to Michael Freeman, who is in the house with us tonight in the chat. We missed that because we all just started yakking.
Yeah.
And to Lee, Lee was waving earlier. So anyway.
All righty. So we've got about 10 minutes. So Barnaby, where can people find you?
Absolutely. WisconsinCaps.com. You can find links to everything we got. Wisconsin spelled out, and CAPS is CAPS. Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society. You can find us at Wisconsin Caps on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Facebook, and WI Caps on Instagram. So yeah, our YouTube channel has all of our documentaries. We do a entire series that is Finding Hayden, and it's spelled the same way. And it is all of our research in 30-minute chunks for people that really want to get into what we've done up there. Season 2 is coming out now, but it's each different little investigation of something that we've done, different experiments, and you get to see the entire experiment over, the entire time of it running, what the results were and stuff like that. So it's all documented in the book, and anything in the book you can get much more detail by watching this. We also have like some of the footage we're releasing now that Craig had documented on the property as well, with Rich Daniels, who actually came onto the property and did an investigation and stuff when he was there for the convention a couple years ago, and he had an encounter. And Craig documented this. He recorded Rich Daniels talking about it. He was sleeping in a camper in his driveway, Craig's driveway, and this thing came up and its stomach was growling right outside the camper window. And so they figured out how big it was. They figured out probably where it walked and all this stuff. And that's all documented on there. We just let that episode out, and just so much cool stuff came out of there. And then for anybody interested in the paranormal, UFOs, all that other kind of stuff, we have some really cool episodes. We have a really cool episode from Gettysburg that has a phantom horse in it, as well as cannon fire and gunshots that we recorded at 3 a.m. In Gettysburg.
Wow.
So there's some really cool stuff out there, and something for everybody that's interested in Bigfoot, paranormal, UFOs. And we have other Bigfoot stuff on there too as well. We have Rhinelander stuff, Rhinelander, Wisconsin. And we also have
Wasn't that a hodag? Did you find the hodag?
I found a lot of hodags in Rhinelander, Wisconsin. They're all over the place. I mean, they're really easy to find. Yeah, we also have a show on Paraflix, Paranormal Plus. And for anybody that subscribes to that, it's like Netflix. You pay $3.99 a month, and you can use promo code CAPS10 to get 10% off your first 3 months there. And all the links is on our website as well. You can subscribe through there, and we get a kickback if you do off of our website. But
Awesome.
We have On the Trail of Undiscovered Beasts is on there, and the first season is out. It's all Bigfoot stuff from Wisconsin, stories and research, and then season 2 will be from Wisconsin and the US with different cryptids and stuff. So
that's awesome. I there's a question I want to throw at you. Now, I have this weird off the wall theory in my brain, and I want to throw it at you and you can tell me what you think. So we get a lot of paranormal Bigfoot stuff. I saw Bigfoot walk into a portal. I saw Bigfoot floating across. I saw Bigfoot vanish right in front of me. The cloaking Bigfoots and all that stuff. And this thought occurred to me. There's humans and there's ghosts of humans. So is there Bigfoot and ghosts of Bigfoot? So is the paranormal Bigfoot just ghosts of Bigfoot?
That is a very interesting theory, and I just talked to Christopher Noel, who is very big into that. He is a proponent of ghost Bigfoots, and if you can have ghosts of anything else, you can have ghosts of Bigfoot. And he has an entire book about the connection between spirits and Bigfoots, and he's super nice guy, super awesome work. We had him at our convention last year.
How do we get him on our show?
We got to get him on our show.
He actually has a brand new book. I love you, Christopher. I'm going to promote your stuff because I'm here. Christopher Noel has a brand new book coming out January 1st. I don't know where you can get it. I assume all of his other books are on Amazon. Christopher Noel, Noel like Christmas. And it is about UFOs is his new book. But he's big into the stick structures. He has an entire book on that and documenting the different kinds of them and what they could possibly mean and stuff. He has a book on autism and Sasquatch and the links between autistic people and the way that Bigfoot works with, like sorting different items and sorting them by color or making piles and things like that. And he was a really good, we got to hang out with him. I got to hang out with him for a whole weekend for the convention this past year. And he's super, super cool guy, super great. He's from Vermont, but yeah, he's got a brand new book out and he talks about the Bigfoot phenomenon with the ghosts and stuff.
Yes. Yeah.
I would assume, like, I would guess if you can have a ghost of a human, you can have a ghost of anything. People see ghost cats, ghost dogs, ghost horses, as I said. Why couldn't you have a ghost Bigfoot? I think, though, along those lines, you know, when you're talking about the paranormal and Bigfoot aspects, going back to, you know, the octopuses, the platypus, chameleon, all these different creatures that have paranormal abilities, I think that it's possible these Bigfoots have abilities that aren't necessarily paranormal, interdimensional, whatever, that we just don't understand them. That maybe this cloaking is more or less, you know, like people have thought that it's like when dogs raise their hair, you know, and if you raise your hair a certain way, it refracts the light around you and can make you kind of blend in easier. Another thing is it's thought that these things are more like ambush predators. And, you know, when they're any kind of predatory animal is very good at what it does. It's very good at hiding and cloaking itself and disappearing into the woods fast. So you have all these different things to think about instead of slapping this supernatural or paranormal label on. And these people too that see like a UFO and then they see a Bigfoot come out of the woods. Well, I had a guest on my show a while ago that said, you know, well, if you saw a UFO, you'd take off running. Well, if the Bigfoot sees a UFO, it's going to take off running too. And it just so happens that it doesn't want to get abducted either. So exactly. That when this alien comes or the UFO comes down, it didn't get out of it. It's trying to avoid it the same as you are. You know, so when you have
so the two things don't need to be they can be exclusive from each other, you know. Yeah.
Yep,
yeah,
absolutely.
So
I had an interesting theory, and we've been, in fact, a friend of mine, Todd Neese, you probably know who he is. He's doing an experiment right now, but if you look at the Bigfoot, the supposed Bigfoot hair that we have, it's doesn't have the medulla in it, so that makes it translucent. So like you said, if they raise a hair and you got translucent hair,
you're going to look like your environment.
You're going to look like your environment. So right now, what Todd is doing is he got a bear hide, and a regular black bear hide, and he's taking like, oh gosh, what's it called? What's that clear filament they put light through? Fiber optics. Like little fiber optic strands of hair size fiber optics, and we're putting it in half the coat. And then we're going to take that out in the woods and throw it down and take pictures and see if half of it's cloaked or half of it's not. So
that is fabulous. I love that.
Yeah.
That is science.
That's science.
That's science. That is science. Yep. Oh my God, that is so cool. Yeah.
Yep.
So, did you want to go with this one?
No.
Okay. All right. So, yeah.
Last second to berate us, crowd. Come on. Or have fun. Okay, I've got one quick commercial I'm going to do, and then we'll come back and say goodbye to Barnaby. So get your last questions in the chat. So we got something coming up. Here we go.
Get ready for an unprecedented YouTube experience. Introducing the Bigfoot Roundtable, the groundbreaking talk show featuring a 4-person Bigfoot Roundtable discussion. Join our panel of renowned Bigfoot researchers, enthusiasts, and eyewitnesses as they unravel the mysteries surrounding the legendary creature. Hear captivating stories, witness compelling evidence, and engage in heated debates. From sightings to scientific analysis, the Bigfoot Roundtable explores it all. Tune in for an adventure-packed journey into the unknown. Don't miss a moment of the excitement, exclusively on your screen soon. Prepare to believe. The Bigfoot Roundtable, coming soon to captivate and astound audiences everywhere, on YouTube and Rumble. Subscribe and ring the bell for notifications when episodes drop.
you know what? Everything is cooler when there's a British accent attached.
There is.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. Yeah.
I think our friend we have a dedicated fan in England, Tony Raines.
Yeah.
We met his daughter
Uh-huh.
and her intended.
Yeah.
So he will love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so do we have any okay? You know what? Here's the thing, Raptor. Nobody's really an expert. There's no such thing as a Bigfoot expert.
No, there's not.
There isn't. There can't possibly. It's impossible. So blame AI. AI wrote the script, and that's where we go.
Yeah.
And it sounds cool because we're Bigfoot experts, and it's cool.
Yeah.
So octopus, we got this DNA and that DNA. Mix them in an egg and leave it in Australia.
There you go. Boom.
Okay.
Yeah. Because everything weird comes from Australia.
Don Endicott, who's watching us on Facebook. By the way, before we leave, please click the like button and subscribe and do all the bell things. That'd be great. We are at 2,719 subs as of 2 minutes ago. Thank you very much. Has there been any UFO or Bigfoot activities by Kewanee, Wisconsin? Kewanee?
I never heard of that.
Kewanee, Wisconsin?
Barnaby's on Google Maps right now.
Pull up the mapping project real quick.
I keep my own database and stuff. I don't have any personal reports from our team from anywhere near Kewanee, Wisconsin. Kewanee, Wisconsin, it looks like is up on the little sliver that goes out into the lake over there.
Okay.
So I don't have anything. The closest I got is near Green Bay for Kewanee, Wisconsin. So and not really Green Bay, but just a little bit north west of Green Bay. So
all right, we got a super chat. Thank
you. I like that.
We got all the little cootsy stuff. Okay. So anything else? Everybody's saying goodbye.
Everyone say yes, be safe and warm. Yeah, I will receive that. We are going to be driving on New Year's, so we will accept the wishes for safety as we drive. We're on our way to Apache Junction. We'll be leaving here Sunday. We'll arrive in Apache Junction, Arizona on Monday.
Yeah.
The 1st, where we'll be for a week, and then we'll be headed back to Oregon. So
yeah, during that week we're going to try to do something. If there's no snow, we're actually going to go to the actual stand in the actual location where Travis Walton was abducted.
I thought we were do that because of the snow.
But we're going to try. We're going to give it a shot. See if we can get there.
All right.
Snowshoes.
I will humor.
It's on my
you.
bucket list. I've been to Bluff Creek. We've been to Falk, Arkansas, and we've been to Duck Springs.
And when do we get to do my bucket list, like the Grand Ole Opry?
When Bigfoot is sighted there.
Yes, exactly.
So we need to find Bigfoot reports in Missouri.
Yeah, there we go.
All right. Okay. So I think that's all we got tonight, folks. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much, Barnaby, for coming on.
And
go check out his book. Go buy his book.
Next week, our guest is Robert Leiterman. Oh, yep. There's the book.
Yeah. So yeah, next week we have a guest named Robert Leiterman,
who wrote another book called The Bluff Creek Project. And we met him last year, or we met him this year, a few months ago at the Bigfoot Research Retreat. Fantastic guy, knows more about Bluff Creek than either Bob Gimlin or Roger Patterson.
Yeah.
I mean,
he lived there.
Yeah, he's turned that upside down. So it'll be really exciting to have him next week.
So he's the guy who set up the Bluff Creek. Now, when you can go to the site where the Patterson film is, he's the one that put the plaques on the ground, like, this is where he was standing. This is where he ran to this log. He found every single rock and tree and everything in that whole thing.
Yeah.
So
Don Fuller, I think we need to worry about bigger swamps than any Bigfoot swamp ever could be.
Yeah.
There are other swamps that need drained, dried, burned down to the ground.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, Barnaby.
So please remember.
All right.
Yeah,
bye.
awesome. So As always, folks, please remember that our job.
I'm getting there. I always scroll the wrong direction first.
Our job is to investigate the unexplained.
Not to explain the uninvestigated.
So until next week, you keep watching and
We'll keep squatching. Now go out and find Bigfoot.
bye.
That damn Sasquatch.